All right. You want to do a little news, Chris?
Yeah.
Get started?
Yeah, sure. So, speaking of black actors in entertainment, Jamie Foxx. I know that he was the #1 trending topic today because he remains hospitalized more than 3 weeks after they announced he suffered a medical emergency. So, sources close to the actor, per TMZ, echoed this plea, quote, "Pray for Jamie." And it's a possible indication that things with the actor's health may not be improving as much as fans had hoped they would be by this point. Now, remember, on April 12th, Jamie's daughter announced that Jamie experienced a medical complication the day prior, rushed to the hospital. They've been really radio silent about what's been going on. Just pray for him and people.
But he came out with a tweet today. This was his first. Today he came out with a tweet, I believe, just an hour ago or something like that. Came out with a tweet and said he thanked all his fans for all the love and appreciation and things like that. I believe. I believe I'm correct in that.
Yeah.
Do we know he was doing it though?
Yeah. I mean, maybe a person from his team or something like that. Right. But I've interviewed him several times.
Yeah.
Nicest guy from around Dallas, Texas. He's around a little bit outside of Dallas. But, and I've said this before, the most talented person in the industry. Yeah. That's just all the love.
The most talented. Yeah. Everyone can agree on that. And
most talented, just a lovely person. And, you're hearing different stories. It came out that he had a stroke, and then he had a heart attack. And I talked to a couple doctors, and they were like, "Oh, you would want a stroke? Wait, no, you would want a heart attack over a stroke?" And I don't know if that's true, because a stroke can actually affect parts of your body, where a heart attack, if you survive,
there's more permanent damage.
Can I tell you?
I don't know, though. I'm not.
Can I tell you what I learned on BIN?
Yes.
Driving home yesterday after marveling at the guy who invented Atari. Black men are 70 times higher risk of stroke than white men.
It's true.
There is something called the stroke belt. It basically goes through Indiana and in the middle of the country, where black men get tons of strokes. And when you get a stroke, you have to know the early warning signs, because if you can get in and get to the hospital fairly quickly, they can give you anti-clotting drugs that'll break it up. But if you just go, my arm's numb, I'm going to bed, you can be really fucked up by a stroke. That's what I learned on BIN.
Adam Carolla's bringing it, baby.
This is BIN on iHeartRadio.
I was like 70 times. I really couldn't tell if I said 7 times higher.
You're right. Indiana's in the center of this.
I listened to the BIN.
I love it.
And I learned everything. I thought it said 70 times. I was like driving going, 70 times or 7? 70 times black men, it said 70 times higher likelihood of a stroke.
Did they say why? Is it because of the food, or is it because just hereditary or
genetics?
Genetics.
I think everything plays a factor in everything all the
Income,
time.
everything.
Yeah, your diet, hereditary, stress, everything that goes along with it. But did you know there was a black man stroke belt?
I've never heard of the stroke belt before today.
You got to listen to BIN. I didn't know it either. But there's a belt. Don't ever move there, Michael.
That belt. No. I will never be in that belt. I'll tell you that.
Go to that belt.
No, never. I'm not even touring in that belt.
The belt is where?
That's a pretty big belt, man.
I know. I wish I was good. You're showing me the picture of the states without any names on them, and I wish I was good enough to tell you which ones were which, but you're going to have to be a little more specific other than showing me an outline of a state.
How is Florida not in that? That's all I'm wondering. How's Florida?
Yeah, Florida dodged that belt.
Yeah, they did dodge the belt.
Yeah.
But everything around Florida, Louisiana.
Everything above Florida.
Yeah, a little bit of everything right above Florida.
Can you name those states?
Carolina,
No,
Tennessee.
You can take the graphic that doesn't have any names on it off
Louisiana,
of the screen.
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Yeah.
We can figure that one out. But there's Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia.
A lot of fried chicken. A lot of fried chicken, a lot of fried foods. That's what that is.
Well, that's the black stroke belt. So don't even go there. I wouldn't even book a gig there.
No, I'm not. I'm never going to any of those places.
I think you need to look at your calendar.
Yeah,
You
right.
may have to cancel some gigs.
Yeah. I went to the University of Arkansas, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for like a year and a half. I played football up there.
It's too
Really?
late for
Yeah,
him,
but I was young, so I
Okay.
wasn't in the belt then. I was too young.
What is it? 70 times higher?
Yeah,
Because
it's 70 or 17. Which
No, he's at 70. They're
Right,
saying
but that's-
70.
I
That's unbelievable.
But that's yeah.
70 times higher the rate to have a stroke.
That is
if
enough
you're in
to
play.
definitely do not move there.
It has to be the food, the fried, everything, the income, because you're always going to these restaurants that you can get like a whole meal for $3. Mm-hmm. Everything is fried in that area.
It is 70%.
Wow.
70. Blah, 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 blah. 70%.
But 50% more likely to die from a stroke anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean that's 20% higher.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, but
Yeah.
70 is a big number. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
That's
That's crazy.
and where the Hispanics come down and the non-whites or the whites, we can figure that one out. But anyway,
Well, they're 70% more likely to have a stroke compared to a non-Hispanic, or I mean, to a Hispanic. But then I think it said, but 50% more likely to have. What was it? Ben, put it back up.
50% more. Play
Was
the
it die?
sting, Dawson.
Yeah.
When we run
Get
out
us
of
out of this.
African Americans are 50% more likely to have a stroke as compared to their white adult counterparts. But black men are 70% more likely to die from a stroke as compared to non-Hispanic whites.
Black facts. Carolla.
Now I'm sitting here getting anxiety. Like, why am I not in the car? What am I missing? You know what I mean? Like, could be a lot of
Yeah, this
information
is
flying
knowledge-
around that I don't know about.
You are not getting this. You're missing out.
That's pretty interesting, man. That's crazy.
Well, we wish Jamie a
course.
speedy recovery.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so his show Beat Shazam that his daughter's on, she DJs on it. That's that Fox show where they guess the lyrics or they guess the song. So they already said that neither party are going to be involved in this upcoming season. And James Woods, he tweeted about Jamie. Now, he doesn't tweet as much as he used to, but you always love his tweets. But this is a really nice tweet, I thought. Quote, "We all know how brilliant Jamie Foxx is as an actor. My experience was how amazing he could be as a collie. When we were shooting White House Down, I had a neck injury during a stunt thing. A few weeks later, Jamie and I had a protracted fight scene filmed over several days. I asked him to be careful, and he went beyond. It was like ballet. He protected me at every turn while making it look like total mayhem. He put my well-being over every other consideration. I had always greatly admired him as an artist, of course, but I was honored to know him for the kind and caring man he is."
I love any White House takeover movie. I watched two of them came out in the same week. The White House
They've
takeover.
taken over the White
Didn't
House.
it look like
a
the
lot.
same movie just with I mean,
They had-
I remember
White House
that.
Down, White House has fallen. I don't know what
Olympia,
Olympus.
Olympia, or something like that.
yeah.
It's the exact same as the volcano movies.
Pompeii?
No, there was
Volcano,
Volcano and
Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak.
Oh, okay.
We had, a 50-year drought of volcano movies, and then 2 volcano movies came out like the same week, and we had no White House takeover movies, and then 2 came out the same week. But I just watched the shit out of both of them.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, I
I
love
never
all
watched
those
either
movies.
one. Nah.
James Woods was great. He was a turncoat. Started off as the good guy, but turned
You
south.
need that for a White House movie, I think.
Olympus has fallen. Yeah, you're right.
So San Francisco, there's a couple stories coming out of San Francisco. Let's go with the first one. Nordstrom has announced that they're closing both of its stores in downtown San Francisco. So they have a regular Nordstrom and also Nordstrom Rack. Both
What
of those
about
are
the
gone.
brass rail? They still have the brass rail?
What's the brass rail?
Growing
I
up,
don't know.
for me, it was called the rail. So I wonder if it's shortened to the rail, and then now they
okay.
just got rid of it. I don't
That
know.
must be a West Coast thing. I've never heard of the rail.
Well, it was like
brass
in Nordstrom.
In Nordstrom.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's a section called the rail, which is like the hip, younger male stuff.
Gotcha. Is that where you shop at?
No, I didn't have enough money for that.
That's where you would have found your Michael Jackson jacket.
Oh, really? Oh,
was
yeah.
Sears.
That was my chess king.
We did Sears and J.C. Penney and Marshalls back when Marshalls.
And Pro Wings. Did you rock the Pro Wings?
What were the Pro Wings?
Those were the cheap shoes, like the Payless shoes.
Yeah,
Pro Wings.
It was like the Nike with the extra stripe, and then like Marshalls was brand names that were kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It was like you'd have a Hang 10 with athlete's foot or something like on it, or the label
Hang 9.
The label be upside down or some sort of weird factory defect or something. But the Nordstrom, the brass rail they had one in the like Topanga Mall or something. They had one like deep Topanga. And when I was like 26, 27, I was like, I got to get a job. So I always worked as a carpenter, but carpentry. So I don't think what people understand is there's kind of two components to a job. There's three components, but there's money. How much do you make an hour, a week, a month, or whatever? That's fine. Like everyone understands that. And then there's a part where it's like, well, do you get time off? Like they give you a week at Christmas time, or you have to be back the next day, or there's sort of sick days, personal days, whatever. There's that kind of stuff. But then there's a third part, which is even if you have a kind of a shit job, and even if it doesn't pay much, if you have a consistent check every 2 weeks and pay stubs and shit like that, then you can go into Toyota of Alhambra and buy a shitty used truck and go, here's my job, here's my pay stubs, I've been working here for 2 years. You can rent an apartment. Yep. You have a proof of employment. When you're kind of freelance carpenter guy who's building someone a doghouse one week and then fixing some dude's fence the next week, you're a day labor. No. You're just coasting around, getting paid cash, getting personal checks and stuff like that. You can't go into the Van Nuys Toyota dealership and buy a car. They just go, what do you do? You know, and you go, trust me. I always pay my bills. They go, I don't see anything that says you pay your bills. You rent an apartment, they do a credit check. You get nothing. You live like an illegal, essentially.
Yeah.
And except for illegals have families that like them. That's the advantage. That's the only difference. They have loving family units.
That's right.
That cook for them.
Yeah.
And let them flop on their couch. But you have to back that out now.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting around working as a carpenter, and I'm like doing groundlings, doing open mics at night, doing improv classes on the weekend. But I need some sort of semi-regular job that proves I'm alive.
Yeah.
So I can navigate trying to rent an apartment or get anything, And I found out that there was some opening over at the Nordstrom, but it was doing maintenance.
Okay.
But I went and met with the head maintenance guy. I've told this story before, but it was funny. It was like kind of far away. It was in Northridge, like I was living in North Hollywood. And I went and met the guy. His name was Tom Collins. Never forget it. Named after a drink mix. And we sat down. He said, I think you could do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do like an 8-hour day. And then you could go take your comedy classes the other days or whatever. And work like a 30-hour week or something like that. And we're just fixing carpet that popped up and, maintenance on a place like that. I was a carpenter, And then I got back to my shitty apartment in North Hollywood. And like I said to my girlfriend, it's like, how'd it go? And it's like, well, we didn't discuss money, but I think the hours are good. The guy's okay. I think I could do this job, but I'm going to need at least $13 an hour. And I can't do it for less than that. And then he called back, and I think he said, I'm willing to offer $12 an hour. And I was just like, he may have even said 13. Like I said something like, I need more than 13. Like 13, yeah. I can't do less than 13. 13 is my lowest I can go or something. Or I need to make more than 13. And he was like, 13. And I'm like, fuck. And then I sat around and picture myself sitting in traffic all the way to Topanga or Canoga Park or wherever the brass rail is over there every day for $13 an hour. And I was like, can't do it.
Nah.
And that was the end. But that's how I knew there was a brass rail at the Nordstroms over there. Can we do with San Francisco and some other cities, can we do what scientists do when they conduct experiments? Like, can we go, okay, rest of the nation, you know, we took a rat community and instead of feeding them protein kibble, we started giving them cocaine. And then what we did is instead of keeping the lights on at the laboratory, we shut the lights off and we got out of the way. And then we came back and we found out it was a shit show and the rats were eating their own children and attacking each other. And then go, well, let's maybe not try that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, experiment conducted. We got rid of the cops. We decided to set up safe zones where junkies could shoot up with impunity. We pulled back and we started community policing. We stopped judging. We let people camp in tents on street and defecate on the sidewalk. We tried that all. This is what we got. Experiment over. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Well, that was San Francisco. Let's try Minneapolis. Like, no. We got it now. It doesn't, whatever this thing was, we tried the experiment. It doesn't work. We got to do something else.
I thought that was Seattle. It was San Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's San Francisco. So,
okay.
Yeah, so this is a 312,000 square foot, 5-floor Nordstrom store. And just a reminder, Whole Foods that opened just a year ago announced it was closing because of worker safety. Other like 20 major stores.
Oh, this is in that area. Is that why you brought the? Oh, it's
20
in that
major
area. Okay.
stores since 2020 have closed. Anthropologie, CB2, a bunch of Walgreens, things like that. So, the Jamie Nordstrom, the Nordstrom's chief stores officer, said, quote, "Decisions like this are never easy, and this one has been especially difficult. But as you know, the dynamics of downtown San Francisco market have changed dramatically over the past several years, impacting customer foot traffic to our stores and our ability to operate successfully. The mall says that the mall that it's in, the Westfield Mall, says that Nordstrom's closure underscores the deteriorating situation in downtown San Francisco. And a growing number of retailers and businesses are leaving the area due to unsafe conditions for customers, retailers, and employees."
I agree with that. And also, I think that my wife hardly ever goes into a store now. We just pick up.
Yeah,
honestly, if it's Amazon, why deal with people in a store acting like idiots and waiting in line where you could just order it, they bring it to your car, and you leave? That's what we do all the time now. Yeah. I hardly ever step into a store.
Yeah, and if you have to step over homeless people,
it makes it even worse.
You're not doing it. And then I do love the politicians that get pissed off at the supermarket or the CVS that moves out because they've created an environment that's way too dangerous for their employees or way too much shoplifting for their business. Then they get angry at the company that leaves. Please get your shit together, politicians.
Yeah.
All right, we tried the experiment. It didn't work. Now course correct. That's all I'm saying. You just have to course correct. Pulling back the cops, homeless, unhoused, previously housed, wannabe housed, could be housed. Fuck all the nomenclature. These are fucking junkies that are withering away and dying on the street. We must do something. You must help them.
Yeah.
Now, with that in mind, I have a follow-up story to that Cash App founder Bob Lee, who was stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And we were
Crazy story.
Crazy
man.
story.
I know.
So this is what happened. So the Bob Lee was found with cocaine, ketamine, and alcohol in his system when he died, with 3 stab wounds in early April. His suspected killer, a Bay Area entrepreneur named Nima Momeni, he's 38. He's due in court for his arraignment Tuesday afternoon. It's been postponed twice already. So a witness told police that Momeni and Lee had gotten into an argument earlier in the evening, with a suspected killer confronting the tech mogul for allegedly using drugs with his sister. So it's not like the homeless crazy
Yeah.
homeless
No, it was
stabbing
the
that we
sister.
saw.
It was all about the sister.
Yeah.
I saw a whole news report about it. It was about the sister. The guy allegedly got pissed off because he thought this guy was feeding
like
drugs to
yeah.
his sister, and then he confronted him. I think he was over at the guy's apartment. They left.
They left together. Yeah.
They left together, got in a car, drove to like a secluded area, and that's where he stabbed the guy.
Yeah. So
They went to a secluded area?
Yeah, I mean a secluded area that was closed. You know,
Out of
where
the way.
there were
it
no
was-
cameras.
Yeah, it was a neighborhood. So and like there's like footage of Bob like trying to get people like call 911, but he ended up he begged passerby for help, but he ended up calling 911 himself. Died at the hospital.
I think if this guy can get his sister to say that guy like raped her or something like that, that's gonna go a long way.
Right.
What
toward
blew me
his
away
case.
when they bring him in to get their charges,
Mm-hmm.
like she was on the brother's side, and
He's
just
pleading not guilty. He's going to
Yeah.
plead not guilty, but they've been they've been asking to postpone this arraignment, and they've been postponing it so many times already.
But like it's obviously like allegedly he kills him, but it looks like he kills him. But I don't care if it's a family member. Maybe I've never had a family member in that situation, but I wouldn't show up to his, where they're gonna put him, like where he pleads at his plea and be on his side when you know he did that. And he did that for you, but it's still wrong. I don't know. It's just very weird.
Right. Yeah. There's like a family dynamic now.
It's a family dynamic where I think he thinks they were hooking up too. Maybe that was involved. Alleged. I'm just putting it
Is
out
he
there.
Indian? What? Maybe it's like a.
No, the guy was a
cultural-
white guy.
Yeah.
The guy he killed was a white guy.
No shit. I'm
Yeah.
saying the guy did this.
Oh.
We're talking about a family and a sister, right?
Yeah.
Ima Momeni. So I
Yeah, the
I
other
don't
guy's
know.
name is Lee.
Bob
Yeah.
Lee, but he's white.
Do you two think I'm asking whether the guy was all over the news whose last name is Lee was white?
I hope not.
Okay, I'm asking about the family because we keep talking about the family.
I don't
the
know what
family, the family.
ethnicity they are.
There's a cultural.
Look,
could
we
be a-
don't listen to BIN as much as you do.
I know,
all right?
you
We're
guys
not
gotta
going to
fucking-
pick
Well,
up
obviously
as much.
they're not black because they would have been on BIN.
I'm saying certain cultures.
No, I got you.
White people don't really care what you do with their sisters. Other cultures got to have thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's part of my privilege.
It's part of my privilege. Man, I tell you, when I heard that story, it was when I found out it was like one of his friends that did it. And
Yeah.
I thought it was about business first, and then you find out it's about his sister.
I
Allegedly,
know. I mean,
so.
and there's like a high profile guy. So
I heard that the other guy was tech, but a little bit of a tech shyster, like was not really Elon Musk, but a little bit of a swindler or something.
Gotcha.
You
sure,
know?
I'm sure there's plenty of those.
I mean, you have to think about, like, in the tech world, how many guys roll into town with a kind of BS story. Because in the old days, you could not roll into town and say, I'm the best blacksmith there is. I invented the horseshoe. And someone would go, good, there's an anvil and a fire. Go ahead, show us what you got, But in the tech world, you could weave a story. Like, I don't know that people would know what you did or when you did it or who you were.
It's that I don't know her name, but that lady that
with
they
the
keep
drugs?
pushing with the drugs. Like she made something like investors gave her like billions of dollars or something like that.
Because it's invisible.
It's invisible,
Right.
and that's what kind of tech is until it's real. It's this idea. They sell the idea, and in that internet boom back in the day, it was crazy.
So what else you got in Mexipana?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2023 announced. Rather than me telling you all of the inductees, I thought it'd be more appropriate for LL Cool J to do it. So here we go.
What up, LL Cool J here, and as a previous inductee in the Hall of Fame, I'm both excited and proud to announce this year's 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee class. In the performer category, this year's inductees include Willie Nelson, George Michael, Missy Elliott, Sheryl Crow, Rage Against the Machine, The Spinners, and Kate Bush. Also inducted will be Shaka Khan, Bernie Taupin, and Al Cooper for musical excellence, DJ Kool Herc and Link Ray for musical influence, and Don Cornelius for the Ahmet Ertegun Award. The 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees are recognized for their impact and influence on music while shaping the history of rock and roll. Please join me in congratulating them on this huge honor, baby. Peace.
Oh, play the Sting, Dawson. Come on. Wake up over there.
Black news all day, every day.
The power of information.
Do you think
BIN
LL
on
Cool?
iHeartRadio?
You think LL Cool J knows who the fuck Kate Bush is? I think someone had to say it to him.
I don't know who Kate Bush is.
That's my point.
Who is Kate Bush?
Kate Bush got really famous after Stranger Things made her song "Running Up That Hill" a #1 hit.
What song
It's from
is that?
'85.
Oh, it's from 85.
Kate Bush is the opposite of rock and roll.
Okay.
There's nothing rock and roll about Kate Bush. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now is just a Chinese fire drill of every artist running in a circle around a parked car. There is no rhyme or reason to it anymore. Kate Bush has nothing to do with rock and roll. She never had anything to do with rock and roll. She has a hit and maybe more. What is her second hit? And you guys should probably have that somewhere, but I don't even know what her other hit is.
Wuthering Heights was her debut single.
I've never heard any of her music.
Top 10 hits
yes, you
include
have.
The Man with a Child in His Eyes,
Nope.
Babushka,
Nothing says rock and roll. Like Babushka.
Don't Give Up, a duet with Peter Gabriel,
Don't give up, you know.
and King
Okay.
of the Mountain.
Is that Running Up That Hill?
No, Running Up That Hill was. I thought we already said that one, so I don't want.
Oh, she's got a hill and a mountain song?
Yeah, she has
Look at
Running
that.
Up That Hill and King of the Mountain. But as I said, so she became a #1. She had a #1 hit like last year because of Stranger Things. So her
Right.
song was
It's a
featuring
cool
Stranger
song from the 80s. There's no possible way she should be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Things. Now, I was thinking that because I thought if Stranger Things didn't happen, would she be inducted?
No.
Right? But the answer is no. But I guess she's been nominated or on the ballot a few times, like back in the 80s. And then John Sykes, the chairman of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he told Variety, quote, "Sometimes it takes a major moment like Willie's 90th birthday, or in this case, Kate Bush's music being played in Stranger Things to shine a light on them for a lot of younger people who didn't know who she was in 1985. They probably weren't even born yet."
Well, now we got to find the song because Michael's.
But what's that have to
know.
do about being like, since younger people know her, they're going to put her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That doesn't.
Yeah, so-
what that guy said doesn't even connect. the
Well,
dots.
what he has done is he's added a lot of younger voters to the general voting body.
Okay.
I don't think she has a body of work.
Yeah.
She has the song that Michael doesn't know that he knows. And then she has.
You think I know?
You know.
Think I?
You do
You
know.
know.
I know. Listen.
It was
there's
like a
one,
TikTok
one
meme.
gift I have is knowing what everyone knows, even if they don't
Oh,
think
is this
they
the one that
know
goes
it.
ha ha? ha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you to take any offense. But look, you can't do fucking affirmative action for Hall of Fames. You can't take a bunch of slow white guys and put them in the NFL Hall of Fame, and you can't take shitty chicks and put them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or even Shaka Khan. It's the goddamn Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, people.
All right, well-
And if you're not going to have goddamn Ted Nugent in there, and you're going to have Shaka Khan in there and Kate Bush, then it's no longer a Hall of Fame.
So you're saying the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should just be for rock and roll artists?
Well, that's definitely
Right?
an
Right,
that's where they
artist.
started
So there are a
it.
couple.
Yeah.
but that's what you think it should be.
Okay,
That's
well,
yes,
it.
but you
Okay.
could have an R&B Hall of Fame, but Winger doesn't make it in.
No, I see what you're saying. I see
Just
what you're
have
saying.
a Hall of Fame. Or you could have, in general, you could have a music Hall of Fame.
Okay.
In which case, you could have Shaka Khan, but you'd have to get rid of Kate Bush, and you'd have to put in Jim Croce.
But I think they made Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the Music Hall of Fame
Yes.
because that's the highest pinnacle you can go.
But you're still missing Jim Croce.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Who had 10 hits, and Kate Bush, who had 1.5 hits.
So, for instance, Missy Elliott was nominated or
Yeah.
is being inducted. So this is her first year of eligibility, right? So her first album came out 25 years ago, so she's eligible, and they passed her through. So she's the first female rapper to enter this music
And
organization.
she'll make it.
Oh, she already made it.
It'd be a felony if she didn't.
So she is the.
Come on, where's my PIN stamp? Stamp.
He's
That was a black
slacking on
joke.
that, man.
She's a.
Oh, you know her middle name? Dawson?
Do I know Missy Elliott's middle name?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, that's why you weren't hot with the button.
She's the 11th rapper
Misdemeanor.
overall, following acts like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Jay-Z, NWA, and Eminem. So now with and sure, yeah, you can say what you want about rapping being
Now,
a
the
part of it.
Spinners are great.
Spinners.
They're the best.
So John Sykes, remember the chairman. So this is another quote he had, because last year they inducted 4 women. 4 out of 7 were women. This year they've inducted 3.
Yeah.
And his quote is, "I'm proud of the progress we're making, having gone from about 15% up through late 2018 to women now being 25% of the inductees."
Fuck right off.
So we're making great...
Fuck off. You're ruining everything. They ruin everything. It's like, you know what? That's how we got Kamala Harris. A fucking horrible idiot who's the vice president of the United States because someone announced we need a black woman. No, you don't. You need quality. Everybody, you earn your way in or you don't. There is someone named Tina Turner. She's black. She fucking rocks. Put her in. But you can't just keep trying to fucking balance everything out. It doesn't, because then people stop listening. Because what is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What did it mean to you 15 years ago versus right now? If you, right
the
now,
best,
it's like
it was supposed to be the best of the best.
It was the best of the best.
And I think what Adam, well, I'm not going to speak for Adam, but Adam's not, to me, Adam's not saying women shouldn't be in the rock and roll. What he's saying is, no, take the best.
That's
no matter
right.
if they're women, men.
Well,
put those people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They want so much to have 25% or 30% of the inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to be women. But as anybody who goes out and sees live music in any night of the week, it's not 25% female. It's 98% dudes playing rock and roll.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
But I think, but besides that, to me, it's just forget about how many percentage of women. It's put the best in there.
I don't care who
the
their
best.
gender
Don't
to-
use the gender. Put the best in there.
Right, yeah.
And that's it.
You
And if
stay
it's
out. And
10%, if it's 100%, that's great.
Yeah.
But put the best in there.
That's the point.
And stop using gender as like we put 25. No,
I'll
we
finish
put
this.
the best in there.
Well,
And
all it does, it fucks up everyone who's in it, including the women who shouldn't be there. It's the syndrome is the black male student at Harvard. When you start fucking with SAT scores and slanting them this way or that way, then you see the black guy at Harvard and you go, I bet his SAT scores were. Maybe he had the highest SAT score in the land. But now we got a kernel of doubt in our head where we're going, I bet he wasn't as smart as the Asian dude who they took off the campus. You don't want that in any institution. And you're making us all wonder now, is Kate Bush really that good? Or is she just there because, and when you do that, you corrupt your institution.
But I think with the thing with music, you got facts behind that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You can look up her history, which we just did.
1.5 hits.
1.5 hits.
Unless there's another hit that I'm unaware of.
We can go through her songs, but I mean, I'm okay with I think that certain people should just be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for what they do, like female drummers who sing. Sheila E. Throw her in.
Throw her in. Hart, throw them in. I think they're already in.
Yeah.
Look, it's like you got Sheryl Crow and you got Jim Croce. They're both amazing, prolific. Put them in. It's fine. But you don't have to shoehorn people in who don't need to be in there.
Right. So Sykes says, so we're making great strides.
Kate Bush is coming on later in the week, by the way.
Yeah.
We can kind of just forget
Let's
about
not
this
mention this.
conversation.
Yeah.
We're gonna
John
heap a
said-
lot of praise on the woman.
John says we can
I
always...
love your stuff, Kate Bush. You should be in the Rock and Roll.
I
Hall of
never
Fame.
stopped running up that hill since 85.
So we're making great strides. We can always do better, but we're on the road to recognizing all the artists of all genders and all races that have been really impacted.
And also, I have no idea why Jim Croce is not in there, but the problem is if you're looking for the next Kate Bush, you will forget about Jim Croce because he's a white dude. He's not on anyone's list, and we don't need one of them in here. And that guy, I have no goddamn idea why Jim Croce.
But there's white guys
not
on there
in
right there.
There are
You
white
got
guys.
the Rage Against the Machine. You got Willie Nelson, George Michael.
Sure.
I mean, those are white guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
Michael.
30, 40, 50 years ago, Willie owed the IRS $30 million in back taxes, and he paid it off by selling his own shit.
Yeah.
His own, gear. He belongs in the rock. He came up with
100%.
$30 million of his own swag to sell to pay the IRS taxes.
Come on,
I-
T-shirts, bongs. What are we talking about? Here?
I'm shocked he's not already in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. But they said because they're taking milestones in the equation. So his 90th birthday, let's induct him. It's hip hop's 50th anniversary. Let's get some.
But see, I don't
points.
like that. But see, I don't like that because you're not putting the best in. You're just making up milestones and saying, "Oh, he turned 90." What about when he was 70? He was just as good at 70. Put him in then.
Well, they were probably like, let's wait until Willie's dead. And now they're like, well, shit, dude, the guy ain't dying.
Yeah.
Let's just let him in at 90.
Unless they put him in and he just dies in. You know, sometimes that happens too.
So remember, they have the ballot and people vote because they have the nominations and these are the winners. This is the class that's going to get inducted. But do you want to hear the people that didn't make it?
Yes.
About? All right. A Tribe Called Quest.
Love them.
Iron Maiden. Joy Division. New Order. No. Cyndi Lauper.
If you're gonna put, God, I don't know why Kate Bush gets.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper
if you're gonna
has
put
8
Kate,
songs,
yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
Kate Bush has
You would
1.5.
Yeah.
All right.
Soundgarden.
Yeah.
The White Stripes.
I think because they're too young. They're new. This is
Well,
their first.
Missy got.
But this is their first time, right? Probably being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they'll do it the
will.
next time.
They will.
100%. White
yeah,
Stripes. Are
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Seven Nation Army is an anthem.
Oh,
like
it's
played in every
amazing. It's
baseball
ridiculous.
stadium. And Warren Zevon.
Warren probably should have got
Warren
in
should have been in a
while
long
back.
time ago.
Yeah.
Is he an older gentleman?
Yeah, he was a good songwriter, interesting,
70s
kind
guy.
of funny, 70s and 80s, died young, but probably influenced a lot of songwriters and singers and bands and things like that.
And that's why I will stick up for Missy Elliott on this list. She influenced the whole sound of hip hop music with Timberland back in the early 2000s, 22 years ago.
And
It's about time you got it right.
Of information.
Yes.
BIN on
Nailed
iHeart
it.
Radio.
Nailed it. Woo!
all right, let's do one more.
All right. Oh, just before we get away from this, Don Cornelius is a recipient of the Ahmet
Soul Train,
Ertegun
right?
Award.
The
So that's given to the non-performers, but who have supported artists in music and still made their impact. So.
I was 5 years old. I used to watch that show all the time.
Oh,
Soul
yeah?
Train.
Oh, I did a deep dive into Don Cornelius.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he was a radio DJ. He was a cop. He moved out here. He started doing Soul Train. Well, thank God he's not alive, because his acceptance speech would take 3 days, because he was like, I want to thank Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for this induction. Like,
He didn't sound like that on the TV
he
show,
was
though.
the slowest talker
We have that Spandau
in the
Ballet.
world. Oh, and he never got anything right. But I love the man. But he did get into trouble for taking a couple of playmates and locking them up at his house for a little while too. Hate to break the news to you.
Yeah.
Every day.
Did you hear that on BIN?
BIN on iHeart Radio.
So
You know,
That's not a BIN story.
It's a
They
more
wouldn't put that on there,
flattering
yeah.
depiction.
That's a
of,
WIN story.
We have we have a Soul Train clip, Brian. Oh, this is
This was Janet Jackson.
That fine recording, and of course you have a great album going for you,
Thank you very much.
and you've been doing some things musically that a lot of folks don't know about, such as
Janet
producing,
Jackson looks creeped out.
writing.
Writing and playing on the album, playing keyboards, synthesizers, yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been playing for a pretty long time, but no one never really knew about it.
Just didn't say nothing.
No, I didn't.
Kind of a different style to this album as far as
my assistant told me it's
age
a
groups
different
and
style.
demographics and children and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, we
a
only have
mature
one
album.
mic, but
You wouldn't think that would just happen.
have to
Everything
share.
came together from the songwriting all the way to the
She
color
looks
of the album.
scared.
It just came together that way.
you would be too.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
It's a big man just staring at her.
How
Yeah.
about you come over to my house? I'll lock you in the room. He's holding the mic to her eye.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah, Michael, you've done a ton of those interviews. What do you
Yeah, I
think
never
of his
put the
style?
mic in somebody's eye. I tell you that.
Yeah, so-
synthesizer there. Oh wait,
So-
who do we have them with? Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
I've got to see that one
Sure.
too. This is funny. He clearly
Understand you
has no
playing,
idea who they are.
Los Angeles. So.
We did Orange County last night. We're doing two at the Universal tonight and tomorrow.
Several of you guys have resemblance besides the two brothers. Are any of the others of you related?
No, would you be related to each other? I wouldn't be related to him. I'm not related to him.
Long
years of living with each other.
He just
Well,
said
this
all
guy's
white
so
people
funny,
look the same. It's just y'all resemble each
You
other.
honkies married. No, we're just white people. He's not your cousin? No. Yeah, he'll be missed, but yeah, he did get in a little trouble.
Yeah, so last year there's an A&E documentary miniseries where he was accused of sexual assaulting two Playboy bunnies in the 70s. The women were alleged to have been brought to his house for a 3-day period where they were locked in separate rooms, bound, drugged, and sexually assaulted. Don's son, Tony...
get ready with the sting. Come on.
But Don's son, Tony, released a statement saying the allegation was an unbelievable story without real proof.
The source for black news.
The Black Information Network.
Sounds pretty specific, but, you know, he says he didn't.
I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, congratulations, Don, into Don's estate.
That's crazy.
Is Joe here? And if he is, where is he? Or no?
I think they're looking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, Al Cooper is also being inducted. You know who that is? Sounds familiar?
Is that Alice Cooper or Al?
No, Al Cooper with a K.
No.
So he was a sideman for Bob Dylan, but also he founded Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh.
Yeah, and I know. So you're okay with that.
Wait, what does founded Blood, Sweat, and Tears mean?
That's a good question. Did he play the horn? He must have played a horn if he was.
Yes.
What is found? You're in the song?
I think it's you start the band and then you quit the band early.
Gotcha.
I think
It
is.
He was known for organizing Blood, Sweat, and Tears, although he did not stay with the group long enough to share its popularity.
But he played, right? Or something. I must have been in the band for 10 minutes or something like that.